When you're at home, you have a safety net built around you that you don't even recognize. It's kind of subconscious. You know where not to go, and you know when not to go there. And if someone came into your safety net area, they would ask you, is it safe to go there or go here? You'd say yes or no because you just automatically know that. And you automatically recognize when something different comes in from the outside into your safety net, and you are, whoa, what's that person doing? What's happening here? But when you leave your surroundings, your comfortable surroundings, you lose your safety net, and you're not aware of something that's not supposed to be where it's supposed to be. And your own personal safety is in danger simply because you don't know what to look for. So what we have to do is we have to increase your situational awareness, your SA. That's another big word for what's going on? What's that doing there? What's he doing? What's going on? More aware of what's going on around you. We have to build that because you're going to another culture you're not familiar with. So how do we do this? Well, it's really simple to understand. It just takes some intentional practice. Every human being can improve their visual abilities and their hearing abilities. And that's what this comes down to. The touch is one thing, but touch, things are already too close. You need to be aware of things before touch. The smell, that plays a part in it as well. But the two big ones are the seeing and the hearing. So that when you're in another culture, you have eyes, but you're blind. You have ears, but you're deaf. You need to be consciously noticing details around you that might concern you. You can't take anything for granted. You rebuild or you build another safety net by intentionally looking around, not being obvious about it, but using peripheral vision and noticing the things around you as far out as you can notice them. Second, hearing. You need to intentionally start listening to conversations close enough that you can hear them, to hear if there's anything going on in those conversations that may affect you. Those are the two basics. You need to consciously increase noticing what's going on around you and consciously listen more to the conversations around you. Everything else is based on those two things. And I'm going to show you how to do those. I'm going to give you some tips and hints as to how to actually improve those two things so you can build a brand new safety net around you in another culture. Now, the purpose is not to make you paranoid. Who's watching? Who's listening? What did I hear over there? No. That's not the point. The point is to give you some peace of, I'm building a safety net. I hear better. I see better. I can kind of take care of myself better. Almost like at home, where it just becomes subconscious. And the longer you're in a culture and the more you practice those things, you don't become more paranoid. You become more comfortable, and you don't have to do intentional listening and seeing as much, because you will begin to notice things just because you've learned how to do that in this new culture. So not paranoid. I want you to relax and enjoy this game of improving seeing things and hearing things. Okay? So before we get on the plane, before we cross another culture, let's practice some things to improve our awareness ability. The first one takes a little bit of practice without standing out. You don't want to be noticed doing this, okay? So when you're having a conversation with somebody in public, a friend of yours, okay, without ignoring them, think about your peripheral vision. Think about what you see outside of looking directly at your friend whom you're talking with. Don't glance all over the place, but look at your friend and just start noticing what's over there and what's over there and what's maybe up there. Again, don't do one of these, but just relax and start expanding your vision, your conscious vision of what you're actually aware of what's happening without taking your eyes off your friend. 2, begin noticing the following 6 things. When you walk into a building, not paranoid, just relax. Learn how to do this. When you walk into a building, look for the exits and look for the stairways. How far are the exits? Where are they located? And how do you get there? I mean, if there's going to be a fire in the building, you're going to want to know how to get out of it, right? If two people over here on the side in your peripheral vision are starting to have a fight, you want to move away. Where's the exit? This is just a normal thing of becoming more conscious of where the exits and the stairways are. What are the barriers between you and the exits and the stairways? The good and the bad ones. The good barriers are those things that can be in between you and someone wanting to attack you. The bad barriers are the ones that keep you from getting to the exits. Notice those things. Notice there's a mop bucket and a water bucket right there between you and an exit. You're going to have to jump over, and you jump over and you slip and you fall and bam, oh, that hurt. Okay, that was not a good way to exit the building because you tried to exit it in a way that didn't work. Or you see a push cart like in a supermarket, and you recognize that if someone were to attack you from that direction, you could push the cart in that way, and that would slow them down. Notice the barriers, the good and the bad between you and the exits and the stairways. Not paranoid. This should be fun. You're just becoming more conscious of things that have been there all the time. Number 3. In your own culture here, before you go overseas, begin to notice suspicious objects. I was in an airport in Belfast, Ireland once, and I had my briefcase with me, and there was this very beautiful young lady in a semi-mini skirt over looking at other books there, and then there was a clerk, and I think one other customer, and there was a book I was attracted to, and so I put my briefcase down, and I looked at the book, then I put the book back, and I took 2 steps sideways to look at another book, and that gorgeous female who was now behind me tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned, and she flashed a security badge and said, "Please take your briefcase with you. Don't step away from your briefcase." Oh, okay. She was trained to notice suspicious objects. And I'd only been 2 steps away. No, you can't do that. Well, you become like her in the sense of notice if someone puts something down, a bag or what, and then they walk 20 feet away. Back away from the object. Think about, does that really belong there? Not paranoid, not paranoid. Make it a game. Make it enjoyable. Suspicious objects. The 4th one, I'm just going to call this suspicious people. That's people that you just begin to notice are looking your way more than a glance. They may not be staring at you, but they maybe keep glancing in your direction, and pretty soon you begin to wonder, do they have a twist in their neck, or are they actually looking at me? Notice those things. Or they may be just looking around like they just stole something from the counter and they're being suspicious. Just notice those things. Don't go tackle them and say, "What did you steal?" No. Remember, you're just learning how to get better at noticing things, the awareness around you. Number 5, walls can be safe surfaces. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're walking down a sidewalk outside and you think someone's following you, you really have a tendency to keep looking over your shoulder and looking over your shoulder and looking, and then they kind of notice that you've noticed that you're looking over your shoulder. Whereas if you're in a building or even a sidewalk and there's a wall and you can back up and put your back against the wall, no one's behind you now. You're in a little bit safer position to glance all around because you don't need to look behind you, or you're looking at brick or mortar or a window, whatever. So especially in a crowded area, notice the walls where you could put your back against. And then you've got a better field of vision. Number 6, and I find this one fun and interesting. If you're standing in front of a display window, you're on a sidewalk in a town and there's a display window and it has dresses or books or whatever, depending on the lighting, there may be a reflection in the window and you'd actually see people behind you. Notice that. Notice what's going on around behind you through the reflective surfaces around you, that being just one of them. You could be in an office and a particular desk may have a very shiny whatever, and it might actually reflect somebody from some part of the room you couldn't see except by glancing at the desk, and there you see movement. Recognize those things as valuable avenues of sight of what's going on around you. In fact, if you're talking to someone at this level and there's a stair platform above you and you can't see up there, but the table's made out of glass, you could probably look at the glass and actually see somebody up on that platform. Notice these things. Don't get paranoid and don't let people see you doing this. Don't go, whoa, look at what I see up there. No, 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 no. Learn to do it without standing out. Just kind of practice for the fun of it.